Hello and welcome to This Week in Native Ads. It's the team here at Nudge giving you the rundown of what's been happening in native and content this week. I think the big story from me is it's been earnings week. So everyone's talking about Amazon versus Google. Is Amazon stealing share? They're talking about Snap. Are they going to keep growing? Are they not? Twitter, fourth quarter in a row of being profitable. So like, is this consistent? Is this a new trend? A lot of the revenue is coming from video, which is quite interesting. But I think the narrative has changed a little bit in the last few weeks, going, how are they all fighting with each other rather than stealing budget from TV, which has always been the arch nemesis of these guys. And Jess, you had a great story from India.
Yeah, so one of the things that really stuck out to me this week was how Mattel had a hyper-localized branded content campaign in India. So they took their global campaign of Imagine the Possibilities and kind of made it specific to India, called You Can Be Anything, where they're just trying to get moms to inspire their little girls to dream big and kind of try to achieve their dreams. So they brought in role models, they helped them think about career acceleration, and then they kind of created content out of this. And it was received very well, and I'm a very big fan of it because women empowerment. And also it's great because the brands created content that the audience can really believe in, and that's kind of how you build rapport. So great piece.
Great, good stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Financial Times, they launched a new tool to help knowledge-hungry subscribers essentially track their reading, and hopes that their knowledge builder would bring in £1.5 million a year in revenue, which isn't bad. I think the idea for them is to check whether article scores in a progress bar are compelling ways to track topics, knowledge building, and staying on top of what people have read. I love this concept. I think it's another way of focusing in on what's working and basically understand what people enjoy learning about.
Cool, great. And Aaron.
Yeah, I've been looking at Craig Silverman's reporting for BuzzFeed News. Obviously, he's been doing some incredible reporting on ad fraud in our industry for quite some time now. But the article this week about the Android bot network and describing how these players were essentially buying high ranked and well-reviewed apps to then incorporate into their fraud. It's pretty unbelievable, the size and scale. $19 billion in fraud affecting our industry this year. We think about all the people frustrated about losing jobs because of the pivot to video and the crunch on publishers, and even people fighting over earnings calls. And we're looking at 19 billion that could have been in all of our collective pockets out the window. Thankfully, at least the government is starting to get involved. Senator Mark Warner just sent a letter to the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission here in the US, to investigate, accusing Google of willful blindness to the scale of this fraud. So it's a big problem. It impacts all of us in ways we're not even necessarily aware of. And I'm glad that Craig Silverman's shining some light on it.
Yeah, he's done some great stuff over the last 6 months. You should keep it up. Please keep it up, Greg.
Yeah, and Ben, didn't we see that bot network in action?
Yeah, we've seen that one, and we've seen others in action. So like when you do in-app content distribution, it tends to not really work, because like when I'm playing Angry Birds, I'm not really in the mood to go read some content, but it's also a very easy place for fraud to happen, which is exactly what happened in this use case. We identified a couple of years ago a big Android one, which Google subsequently identified and shut down. But what it would do is it would load websites in the background of your app. And that's why your phone was overheating, because it's probably surfing thousands of websites.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a wild world out there. Unless you use Nudge, of course. All right, I think that's it for this week. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.